wanted to make it a point to essentially give you everything about offer creation. By the end of it, you will be able to have a Google Doc that can sell your product. This has been the sales process we've used for probably the last 5 years, which is kind of crazy to think about. And kind of just laying it all out for you. What makes a highly converting offer doc based on the dozens and dozens of programs we've launched, the hundreds of offers we've helped clients launch, and kind of just give you the full on template, like fill in the blank stuff, what to do, what not to do, so that way you guys can potentially just start selling your products with a very casual Google Doc, and sales processes can become relatively a breeze. Uh, the goal would be to have a sales process that looks like I send doc, I get paid, and then I work with clients, right? Um, so that's what's on the agenda for today. Yes, it will be recorded. Yes, that will get you guys the recording. Thanks for reminding me, Ian, because I almost forgot and started yapping. So
Here. Boom. How's my audio before we get deep?
Good.
Good? Cool. Man, it's been in my favor here lately. Amazing.
Whatever you did different, you seem to have fixed it.
That's the thing. I do the same thing every time.
tech is not friendly.
It's like, don't you just love it? Hey, my new internet stuff is out for delivery, by the way, guys. So just wanted to tell you, I'm excited.
No, I
was waiting on FedEx to get here and hoping. I'll let y'all know if it's better.
Let's see. I'll pull this up. Yeah, we could just start jamming out. Otherwise, we'll end up
be here for 5 days.
Hanging out with you guys all day. So, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. A random question: how many of you guys already have an offer? You know what you're selling. You have a product. Maybe you have multiples of products. Let us know in the chat. Like, drop a 1 if you guys do have an offer. Drop a 2 if you don't. If you have multiples, and then a 3 if you potentially have no idea what you're selling. Maybe you have an idea of potentially what you want to help people do, but we don't have like an actual product that we are actually like making sales with yet.
And feet pics don't count. Okay, so that's you just out the window.
Offer tweaking, yep. Alrighty. So as the name implies, how to turn what you sell into a simple Google Doc that closes $500 plus offers without calls. Now, this isn't limited to like $500 offers. Usually do recommend most have, this is like a pretty solid price point to start with because you don't necessarily need as much volume. We do use low ticket in our business, but again, it's not like the core focus of our business. Usually use them to like build a list of buyers, qualify, clients, et cetera, not as like the main signature thing that you're producing most of your money from or your sales from. So by the end of the training, you'll have your offer mapped, ready to put it into Google Doc. You can send to anyone. That's the goal for today for you guys. So no sales calls, no 47-step funnel, no like very high polished song and dance type thing. We're also in an era where AI can make this really easy for you as well. The only thing I will say is if you are using AI to write offer docs, you just have to be aware that these are meant to kind of hit some emotions and some pain points and the feelings of your potential audience or the people you're sending them to. So AI struggles with that unless you're very specific around actually getting it to write emotional copy, right? So this is the same format we've used to close over 4,000 sales with coaching, courses, services, affiliate offers, physical products, you name it. We've literally probably helped clients in the most obscure spaces write offers, from selling medical devices to getting more people to come to their food truck to, copywriting services for local businesses. We've been using essentially the same exact format for every product we've ever launched since 2021. you guys look in the group or the content series that I've been doing probably over the last 10 days, I literally broke down a bunch of different offers from products from $50, affiliate products, Google Docs that did 50K in 14 days, another offer doc that did 155K in 77 days. So this isn't like a hypothetical. This is a great strategy you can use. It's what we actually use in our day to day, which is cool because this training is actually going to be breaking down an offer we're actually selling. So,
All right. Any bam.
and I will say, I'm not like the inventor of this strategy. I'm not like the, I didn't pull this strategy out of thin air. This is something we worked on with Jacob Karras for many, many years, who also picked it up from Travis Sago.
However you say it.
Something we learned from our mentor over the years of being in business. And this is realistically kind of our variation of using docs for the last many years at this point. And yeah, who's ready to dive in? Even though we're already
Me.
diving in.
Me.
So, part number one.
The offer asset overview. Why would we use a Google Doc? I'm not gonna lie, when we first heard this, it kind of blew my mind, and I was like, "There's no way that this would work." Nate and I, we have tried probably all the ways under the sun. Most people, when they're selling something, it's like long sales calls, strategy sessions. How many of you have heard like, "Hey, let's just get on a strategy session, right? Like, just get on a quick Zoom call." I can't tell you how many times I got with that, but it's usually like long sales calls where people are answering the same questions over and over, right? DMs, Messenger, everything's just going ham on that, and you talk to XYZ people over and over again for weeks, even months. And Nate and I've even spent years on it. Sales pages that they're just like so long, they don't get to the point. They just say a lot of the same thing, and they're like 19 pages. Or just let's hop on a quick call. Right? I'll just walk you through it, help you out. Here's what we discovered after playing around for a very long time. A Google Doc is something that has outperformed everything that Nate and I did, because we did a bunch of sales calls too. We spent a lot of time in the DMs. Your fingers will start bleeding and blister, and you'll just hate getting a message. Now, a simple Google Doc, it can still feel personal. All right, it's not like a landing page. Landing pages still work, don't get me wrong, but it's like just everybody's aware of it. It's the same thing. Everyone is doing the same thing out here. Now, this is a document that you created, and you get to say what you want, and you send it to a person directly. That's different. Sending a voice clip, sending a direct message, sending them a personalized video, sending them a thing that you created, it just hits different. And it will do all of the heavy lifting for you. Any question that you see being repeated to yourself or in the marketplace around the same thing that you are playing in, as far as arena, business, offer, etc., you can answer every question. That way, if they do have a question after they check out what you sent them in the Google Doc, it's usually one question or one simple thing, or they just say, "Hey, I'm in," right? And if you set it up a certain way, they might just say, "Hey, I just paid. What's the next step?" Right? But the best part is it does all the heavy lifting for you. So like every objection that's pretty common, it's handled within the Google document, and you're hands off. Every time you hear someone say, "Let me think about it," we address that inside the Google Doc, and then it pre-qualifies at the same time. So the right people read it and they're in. They're ready to go. They either pay or tell you they're ready to pay, and the wrong people read it and they just opt out. Like, nope, not for me. Which is perfect, because then you don't have to do a long song and dance in the DMs or go back and forth for a long time trying to convince them Let me say a 2 in the chat if you hate trying to convince someone, even though you know that they need what it is that you're offering. I hate it. So it repels and attracts. Repels the people that aren't ready, not a good fit, the ones that you do not want to work with, and it attracts the people that are an absolute blessing to work with. All right, and then it compounds too. We do the work one time, right? We write the offer one time. Now we can continue adding to it. Say we get a new objection, right? Or we get new feedback. We can refine and edit and make better over time. Right? I kind of told this story in the post that I put in the Facebook group this morning, where it was like my first offer. It took about 20 hours, 2 weeks. I don't know, almost a dozen different iterations, and I sent it to well over 100 people. But the cool thing is, after all of that refining and editing, I hit that first $1,500 sale in one day, and I was just like, "Whoa, this is ridiculous!" And then because of all of that refining and editing, I continued to do that. The more and more people that I sent it to and got feedback from, I kept making it better and better. And over 3 months, it did over $40,000, and that really blew my mind. All right, so we do the work one time, and then we can send it over and over again, and that is what does the heavy lifting, right? Every conversation becomes, hey, here's the doc, check it out. If you got any questions, let me know. If you're in, let me know. Right, that's it. And when someone finished reading it, and it's good and it's set up correctly the way that we're going to give you guys today, they don't need to hop on a call. They just need to know either how to pay or what they can do to get to a point of being ready. It's no song and dance, right?
So I'll break down like what makes a good offer doc, and the thing I'm fully transparent on, and this is one key pillar in our entire ecosystem. So I know you guys hear us talk about communities a lot, groups, workshops, all these things that we do inside of the business. This is kind of like the prerequisite. This makes everything else easier, which is intentionally why we're giving this to you guys first, because if your offer doc is in place or what you're selling is in place, it makes curating the community, makes installing a workshop, it makes your content, it makes your marketing, it makes absolutely everything else in your business easier because we know what we're optimizing for. Because then we can work backwards from the objections, the limiting beliefs, the things that your audience actually needs to even be ready for your offer. The one thing that I've seen over the years is it's not necessarily 99% of the time, the objection you will get is that, oh, your product's too expensive. And it's very easy to internalize that. Like, oh, maybe I need a different product. Maybe I need a different thing to sell. And a lot of the times it's because one, you're trying to sell your product to the wrong people. Not that there's like good and bad people. It's just they're not at the level that they actually even need your product yet. So then we need to work backwards and actually get your audience to the point of needing the thing you're selling. I know that's was a big thing for me. It was like trying to sell somebody who didn't even understand what, building a personal brand or online business was and trying to get them to go into like a 3K offer immediately versus like, okay, I want to sell this $3,000 offer and then I need to like put all this stuff in my group or in my community or in my ecosystem that I would actually get them to the point where they even understand that they would need this product or even know what they're building, etc. So that's the one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this. This is realistically the one key pillar in our process that will make everything else easier, which is again why we wanted to give this to you guys because this will make your life a breeze from content marketing, setting up your community, optimizing your community, putting a workshop in your community that produces messages every day like, hey, can you send me the offer? So that this is like it's also not optional, I think is another thing. Like we need to have an offer. And again, you don't have to like verbatim put it on a Google Doc. You want to go put it on a landing page, do that. But you need to have an offer. And contrary to popular belief, an affiliate product, a license to resell someone else's product, or like an affiliate link is not an offer. We need to have something unique to you. Like everybody in this room is building a personal brand to some degree. So there needs to be some type of personal uniqueness to the product you're potentially selling. If you guys have your own offers, it's not as much of a thing as far as like that limiting belief as far as like a link being an offer. Um, but it'll all make sense as we continue to dive on. So what makes a good offer doc convert? What makes an offer doc convert? A Google Doc that closes sales isn't just information about your offer. This is a big mistake I see a lot of people making with offer creation. It's like I put together my offer and it's like 75 bullets. Like that's not what we're talking about here, which sounds counterintuitive because here's 9 numbers for you. Um, it's an intentional process that takes your customers on a journey. Okay, it's a sequence that takes somebody from I'm curious to I'm in without you being there. Okay, so these are the 9 things that every document needs to have. Like this is a non-negotiable. Every offer doc that we write covers these in some degree, and throughout this training, we're actually going to be breaking down like in real time. We're going to be referencing a doc that we are using to make sales. So you'll see it from 2 different lenses. So number 1, we need to meet them where they are emotionally. Like I was saying earlier, we have to hit some type of emotion or some type of pain or some type of feeling your audience is currently in that will encourage them to buy. The 2 things, if you're trying to optimize to sell to a colder audience, lead them away from a pain. If you're optimizing to sell to a warmer audience, lead them towards the pleasure. And the reason I say that is because if you're selling to cold audiences, they don't care about your results, they don't care about who you are. This is also the biggest objection. Why would anybody listen to me? I haven't made X amount of money yet. Your audience doesn't care if they don't know you. They don't even understand who you are to the point where they'll even believe any level of results you've gotten, but they can't understand a pain that they're currently in. They can't understand a situation that they're currently in and they want to get out of. So if you're uh, trying to sell to a colder audience, lead them away from some type of painful situation they're in. Okay. Number 2, show them you understand their specific pain. Nobody likes to feel like, oh, this person me or they're putting me down for being in this painful situation. No, we're not. We're trying to create some type of bridge or connection. And the reason, like I do this all the time, talking about how I struggled in online business for 3 years, showing up every day, trying all these business models, doing A, B, and C. And I do that because it bridges some type of, oh, Nate understands that what it's like to struggle. He understands what it's like to be in the situation that I'm currently in. Okay. So we need to create that bridge between uh, how they feel and how you understand their feelings. Number 3 is paint a picture of what life looks like after working with you and be specific. Like this is also another thing that we need to think about with all of this stuff is we need to like try to really nail down specificity in the copy in the documents themselves. So paint a picture of what it looks like, where they will be, what will their business look like, what will be removed from their life, what types of relationships will get better after they use your 5 communication skills to build a better marriage. You know, how will breastfeeding become easier after they take your masterclass on, you know, postpartum mom life? Okay, like what is the actual outcome of the product? This is the one mistake that a lot of newer online business owners make. You're not selling a product, a course, information, coaching program. People are buying the transformation that they will get to after they have that level of information. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to paint. Number 4, prove this actually works. And I know some of you guys may be like, well, I don't have results. I don't have monetary aspects. I don't have anything that I can, use as proof. There's 2 things you can do to leverage proof. If you're selling somebody else's product as an affiliate, something along those lines, you can always use community proof. You can always use like, hey, I'm a part of a system that has produced X results, or take it back a notch and use something that you can prove. It doesn't have to be a crazy monetary thing. It can literally be something you have accomplished. Uh, the other thing I will say for offers is the further and further that you step out of trying to sell people on stuff that you have not done, you will face a lot of imposter syndrome and things will get challenging in business because we're trying to sell people on these outcomes or these results that we haven't got yet. Right? It's like the whole I'm going to help you make 10K per month with your online business, but you're not actually doing 10K per month online. Like it's there's a lack of congruency there, which will internally start to cannibalize your business. Okay. So use something you can have as proof. Could be growth, could be, 13 years of experience in this field. There's all sorts of things that you can use as proof that don't necessarily have to be tied to like a money thing. And especially if you're outside of like online business building realm, there's all sorts of proof beyond money that are probably even more powerful. Like, I'll give you a real time example because she's on my screen. Karen. Karen helps moms with breastfeeding. She's been like a lactation consultant for the last 13 years. It would be silly of her to use how much money she makes every year as proof on this document because they do not care about that, right? They want stories from the mom she's worked with. They want how long she's been in this field, et cetera, et cetera. It's versus like a lot of people look at proof like money, like, oh, it makes this much money. It completely depends on the outcome of the transformation. If I'm promising leads and like money, then yes, that would be a relevant thing to leverage as proof. But if I'm not playing in that specific space, it doesn't make sense to plug those types of results in. Okay. Number 5, explain how you're going to get them there. Like, don't leave any questions around like what they're going to be doing. This is another thing. Like, if you want an easier sales process, we need to explain what somebody is going to be required to get to the transformation that you're selling them on. Like, what is a part of that process? What isn't a part of that process? What is their day to day going to look like? You're a fitness coach who helps women lose weight. Are they going to have to count calories? Are they not going to have to count calories? Um, how long are the workouts? Do they need to have a gym membership? Do they not need to have a gym membership? Like, just as some quick off the cuff examples for you there. We need to explain what they are actually going to have to do to get to the transformation you're promising. Okay. Number 6, this is like where the deliverables are. So I want you guys to look at this too. This is number 6 as far as uh, a lot of people will write the offers, and this is kind of all they'll cover would be like step 6. Um, what they're getting, the bullets, breaking down lesson 1, lesson 2, whatever. This is where you actually start diving into what they're actually going to get. Number 7, filter out the bad fits so they filter themselves out. Uh, we talk about this a lot. It's just as important to attract the right audience, but it's also just as important to repel the wrong ones. Okay? Especially if we're talking about acquiring paid clients, because the natural thing is after somebody buys something from you, they get closer. And if they're not a good fit for your product, your offer, your course, your coaching program, it just the relationship gets worse. Okay, like then it sucks. So, um, very profound. uh, Number 8, remove the fear of saying yes. So this is like, how can we de-risk the investment? How can we make the investment look smaller? How can we, give some type of guarantee? Don't guarantee things that you can't actually deliver on. Don't guarantee you're going to help somebody make $1 million if you haven't made $1 million, or you don't have any proof of concept in actually producing that result predictably. You'd be far better off promising something smaller that you can guarantee, like specifically. Okay. Number 9, make the next step obvious. So, miss any of these, you will probably end up creating a little bit of confusion in your offers, and confusion kills sales. So, this is a high level of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be breaking down all of these 9 pillars, what that actually looks like in an offer document, giving you guys a template to go fill out yourselves, and some more examples for you guys.
Amen. Everybody clear? Cool. All right. I'll make sure everybody stays awake. We might have to stand up and do some jumping jacks before we get through this, because we don't need anyone falling asleep. It is a whole lot to take in. But me and Nate will stand by the fact that if you take this serious and take the time to ask yourself all these questions and put effort into answering them with specificity and detail and thought, then you can have a converting offer. All right. Promise. So we want to share the offer doc example. And before we break down like the framework, we want to show you, what this looks like in practice for 2 reasons. One, like, we do everything that we teach, always have. right? There's nothing that we're going to teach, show, or recommend or encourage you to do that we aren't doing ourselves. All right. So, like, I don't even know how many offers we've created following this framework at this point. It's a lot. And then we've helped hundreds of people also create their offer using this same framework and template and successfully. Okay. So just we want to walk you through the real offer that, you know, we're launching. Like, this is in the cards right now. All right. Now, again, we've wrote a bunch of offers. You're not going to do it very quickly the first time. It's going to require some effort and work. It's not meant to be super fast. All right. Because what you're doing this one time can be used over and over again. And it's not like going to work for an hourly wage. All right. It's not like that. It's like you put the time in one time and it pays you over and over again. All right. So let me see if I can make this screen bigger on my side so I can see it good. Because you can't enter full screen mode, by the way. Nate, we can tag team this unit. So for us, looking at the offer doc and like the template itself, when we're getting ready to write an offer, we want like the first thing that people see to be very, very clear. We want them to know what it is, who it's for, and we want to call out to them. So, as the name implies, community conversion operating system. All right. Install the 90-minute daily community sales system that normalizes $1,000 days without sales calls or daily lives. All right. So it's very, very deliberate there. And then we go into call out to the person. We've said what it is, right? What it's going to do, 1K days without sales calls or daily lives. All right, now we're calling out to the who, which is coaches, consultants, and creators. All right, that can be kind of broad, but also narrow at the same time, right? And then we got like a little statement in there just to kind of hit people between the eyes. You started this business to be free, but now you're stuck at your desk all day. All right. And then copy is important. Copy is an art. I did not understand this in the beginning, right? Did anybody first hear about copywriting and, you know, they thought it was like, all right, we're going to a Xerox machine and that's what we're doing? And just me? Sorry.
Making copies.
Yeah, I didn't know what copywriting was, right? I was very confused.
It is, yeah. It's underrated.
Yeah,
And I will say for a lot of you guys who are even like putting copywriting on your radar, it will put you miles ahead of a lot of other online entrepreneurs because it's something that I didn't even start conceptualizing until years into business. And to not use industry jargon, it is literally just using words to make people feel something. It's the easiest way to explain it. Using your written or spoken word to invoke some type of emotion in your audience that breaks down like the 9 pillars we were just talking about on the previous template. Like, if you look at this on a deeper level, if we're talking about copywriting, it's like what it is, helping them get to a result without something they don't like anymore. That's usually a good formula for a lot of the headlines or the like immediate call outs in the beginning. Full transparency, we didn't even need to do a like community conversion operating system. We could literally just name this Google document. How can I help you get to a result while removing something you don't like in your business? Okay, that's usually a good formula for that. Sorry, I totally interrupted you, Flip.
No, it's all good, dude. I mean, that's a lot to go in here. I might forget something that you'll remember and vice versa. You know, just again, the beginning of your offer doc is like super important because you're either going to get their attention or you're going to lose them, right? So we kind of want them hanging on to the last word of the sentence before, right? Almost like, you know, your favorite Netflix series. You know, you get to episode 1 and you're excited, you're watching it, it's good, it got your attention, and they want you to come back and watch the second episode. And how does it always end? Something crazy is about to happen, or they mention something that you really want to, and you're like, you're hanging on at the end, like, all right, yep, I need the next one, like now.
You want to
Same
know
thing.
a funny part about Netflix too is why they do the screen that pops up that says "Are you still watching?" You want to know why they put that at a couple minutes into the next episode. They don't put it at the end of episode 3. It's 2 minutes into episode 4. It's because you're already like at a cliffhanger and you're already on motion of watching that episode versus I'm at the
Yeah.
end. You're at a starting point or you're at a end point. You're at the start. So there's like psychological like I don't want to stop watching it now. I'm already like committed to some degree. Um, so if you look at this document, it calls out who it's for right out of the beginning. It's also agitating a specific pain, like, hey, you started your online business to be free, but now you're chained to your desk all day, which also agitates like 90-minute day routine. It's calling out this on a deeper level who it's for. Like if you have an offer of $500 or more, you can swap your long work day for a simple 90-minute day routine. Okay. It turns your free group into a tool that sells for you 24/7. You get messages asking, how do I pay? And you get to eat dinner with your family in peace. Again, so if you look at this entire headline section, what we're actually promising here is a simpler way to run business in less time, which all kind of like agitates this. Okay, you're chained to your desk all day in business, which is a thing. Like we've talked to people with millions of followers who talk about passive income who are on strategy sessions 8 9 10 hours a day and they fucking hate their business, pardon my French. And it's a very real thing. Okay, so this is how what we've kind of used to help business owners over the years. Again, this will look different for your business. So I'm not saying to like go copy and paste this offer document. This is a real offer we're using in our own business to sell a product, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't help people remove sales calls or remove daily lives, don't write an offer on that. This is just a real time representation of an offer in our business.
It kind of brings us to this point that I can't ignore. How many of you are maybe you have an affiliate offer and it's a lot of people that are also promoting that offer? Just say that's me in the chat. Now on the plus side, maybe you have your own offer, but you're operating in a space or marketplace that there's a lot of people that have a similar offer. You can put like a 1 in the chat if that's you. Just kind of temp checking here, because Nate and I both we've been a part of many affiliate programs. Okay, that's where we got our start, which was in affiliate marketing. And not gonna lie, me and my small town self, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but for some reason I just had like this little light that was like, I can do this. Right now, there was still another part of me that was like, no, you're not smart enough to do this. Now, to lay it out, me and Nate, we've been a part of many affiliate programs. All right, we've actually won a lot of affiliate contests in multiple different programs. All right, and it is because of this right here. So even if if you were the one that shook your head or said, yeah, I got an affiliate product, but there's a lot of other people promoting it, you have to be able to stand out. You have to bring a unique proposition to the marketplace where there's a lot of people selling the same thing. There were people that got mad at me in one of the programs because they had been in there for 2 years. I had been in there for less. And they was like, how is Flip making more sales? I was like, why are you mad, bro? Like I teach for free in my group. They joined the group. Guess what happened? They bought from me. We were in the same program learning from the same person. It is because it's unique, right? You guys are going to be able to do that with whatever it is you're selling, whether you have your own offer, which has a lot of competition in the marketplace you're in, or if you're an affiliate that has 1,000 or 10,000 other affiliates selling the same thing. You have something unique to bring to the table, and we capture it with this Google Doc. I just wanted to point that out. Make that a mental note.
And then you'll have people seeking you out, like specifically for what you provide on top of the product instead of the product itself.
Yeah.
The one way that we've referenced this, and I will try to run through this doc quickly so that way we can actually cover the other stuff for you guys. with the affiliate offer docs, the thing to remember is it needs to be you focused. So if I'm doing a document for an affiliate product or somebody else's product, we want to look at that product as the bonus, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but your audience is 99% of the time going to be talking to you, falling into your ecosystem, buying your programs, or even, contemplating buying your programs based on the recommendation of you. So that is the one thing that, we've worked with hundreds of clients, and we've also, we have, I don't know, 700 affiliates at this point, have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to our own affiliates. So the one mistake that I've seen a lot of affiliates do, and I've also made myself, is the fact that we go very affiliate product focused, which can work, but the thing to remember is like we want to make this, like Flip was just saying, unique to yourself. Okay, which if you guys have any questions about that, I'm happy to give more context. So as you can see, rolling right into some proof with this offer. These are all client results, and this is kind of, I'll give you like my own thought process of when I'm writing these out. I'm trying to use as many different examples or contexts as I can in these uh, results. Right, Adam, who does 100K per month as an Amazon seller using this framework to disrupt his own market. Angela, a grief coach who helps parents who've lost children run physical retreats. Gerb, who abandoned the survey and call model to replace it with this and did 15K in 7 days. Caden, who used this model to celebrate 11K day, helping a local business. Ashley, who took this process to earn her first 100K within 8 months. Matt, who added 6 figures to income while working a full-time job. And the reason I'm using all of these is because these are potential objections that some people would have. Okay. I don't have time. I have a full-time job. Okay. I'm doing calls and surveys right now. Will this work for me? I help local businesses. I don't know if this will work for me, right? So on a deeper level, oh, I work in a weird, obscure niche. This won't work for me. Okay. So like using different examples or different lenses of results. And again, the thing I will say, if you guys do not have results or big money things, don't use them. Okay. We can find other compelling motivators. Uh, but don't get into that. I don't know why this is a thing in the online business building space, is like using results that you haven't accomplished, or I've seen it even on some social medias where it's like, does anybody have income claims that I can use for my marketing? Don't do that. Okay. Just your business will benefit so much more from just being like radically transparent. Like, and you don't need to be this $1 million expert. You literally just need to be one step above your ideal client. Okay. But and then rolling into a picture of us. And apparently Nate doesn't know how to look at the camera because the camera is like right here and I'm looking somewhere over here. So roast me in the comments on that one, because yeah, that's an award we got for taking one of our products to $1 million. And then not my favorite aspect is the money results. I would much rather love to talk about client results all day, but the proof sells. So then we're rolling right into like why I created this. Okay. The reason we use this is because we also want to highlight that we're not like flash in the pan success. We're not like an overnight guru who just started having success because we bought something. Okay. For the last 1,700 days in a row, we've averaged $1,100 in daily sales. Still wild to think about, especially from someone who used to work a minimum wage job. Okay. I'm no better than anybody, literally below average Joe. So I'm not going to dive into like the copy on every level, but I'll kind of give you the key points of what I'm talking about here. It all kind of loops back to same principles. Okay. So we haven't taken a sales call in 4+ years, but in July of 2023, while sitting on the couch in a beach house with our private clients, we realized something was wrong. It's a real story. Okay. Like me and Flip were literally sitting on the couch together. I think we had 15 private clients. We rented a beach house in Myrtle Beach and had a bunch of clients come hang out, and it was a great time. Lots of laughs and belly aches. Even though we were call free, we were trapped in a business full of complexity. We had crossed that $1 million in revenue with our Facebook groups, but our back end was a nightmare of our own making. Dozens of different communities were scattered across platforms, each requiring energy to manage and moderate. A value ladder that was actually a maze, consisting consisting of continuity offers, low ticket subscriptions, high ticket masterminds, a free and paid group split that forced us to manage 2 different worlds simultaneously, essentially removing the culture out of the free groups every time we made sales. So what I'm actually doing on a deeper level with this copy is talking about a messy business, right? Talking about complexity, overwhelm, the traditional model that a lot of people are running in their current business right now. Okay, I have a product over here and an offer over here, a group over here. So we're also creating that relatability. It's not like we're better than anybody because we use a different model. It's like, hey, we understand because we lived it. Right? After we launched our first program, I remember we ended up going into the next year with like, you know, 7 different Facebook groups, Slack, you know, too many products to like even list out, like a dozen programs that we could sell. Um, so we're trying to create that relatability and agitate, you know, the complexity, which all goes back to the beginning of the offer doc. If you look at it, it's like, right, you started your business to be free, and now you have all these moving parts and all these different things and all these different, uh, you know, obligations in business, and you know, you're essentially like chained to your business. That
It's
was
easy to
supposed
do.
bring you freedom.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I think at some point we're all guilty of it because we get so excited that we see something that we feel like we could do, so we jump on it, and then what we thought was going to happen doesn't happen as quick as we thought it was going to happen. So then we get unmotivated. And then we see something else that gets our attention, and we go in that vicious circle and valley of despair. You know, but pretty sure that's everybody, right? Right? Yeah, yeah.
And this is like, I'll zoom out a little bit and try to show you guys. So this is kind of where we were, right? So this is the problem, okay, and then it's transitioning into uh, the outcome, what we did. So we found that almost every single customer, regardless of what they bought, had 2 things in common. They came through one free group. They went through one specific workshop. We realized anything besides these 2 parts in our business were just noise, and set out to build a lean daily system that lets us focus solely on the processes that allow us to average 1.1K days consistently. After we burned everything down, we were left with a single free and paid community where the community and clients lived together, a free workshop that handled objections, shifted beliefs, and sold for us 24/7, a simple Google document that closed $500 plus sales within a few messages, a content system that allows us to market more in less time. Okay. So our day to day started to look like blah, 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 content, community, workshop, sale. One client used the system to generate 100,000 in 100 days, fewer than less than 5,000 followers, a community less than 700 people, no complex funnel, just a workshop and a simple Google Doc. So again, kind of reinforcing some objections or proof of concept. Okay. I don't have a big audience. I don't have a community of a lot of people. I'm not good with tech, all these things that we have heard, but we're not specifically saying them. Then a little bit more proof of concept. So this is rolling into like what we help them install. So if you guys look at, you'll notice the congruency in what we're giving you guys here today too. So like this is a paid offer. And it's like step 1, we create your simple Google Doc that will be used to close $500 plus sales within a few messages back and forth. Step 2, we build your free community that creates your content, nurturing, and sales opportunities for you. Step 3, we install a workshop in your free community that takes cold community members into messages from people ready to buy in days. Step 4, we turn one weekly video or live into the main videos for your week, plus AI-powered tools to create on-brand written posts in seconds.
Yeah.
Some cool visual graphics of what this actually looks like. And then we're rolling right into deliverables. So this would be number 6 on the document that I was breaking down for you guys.
This will be different for all of you, like based on whatever it is you're helping people, the service you provide, the product you're selling, the info, support, consulting, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, any of you that are taking notes, which I hope you are taking notes, right? Even though this is on replay, let's just know how we all do as people. I just put it in the chat. When you're writing something, this goes for when you're recording a video, when you are writing a post, an email, your offer especially. You want your readers to come across your offer or your content and you want them to go, yeah, I want that. Yeah, that's me. Oh man, they're spying on me. Like they're speaking directly to me. That is what you want in your copy. When you nail this, even if you don't nail it 100%, you're gonna have conversions. Okay, because people want to be heard, they want to be understood, and they want to be helped. They don't want the BS. They want honesty, they want truth, and they want to know that you understand where they are. Now, the fact that Nate and I got, 6+ years of failure under our belt, we understand where a lot of people are because we've been there. All right, make sense?
Now we're not over word vomiting on people as far as like what they're getting. 12 months access to community conversion operating system, implementation and support, 2 calls per week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12 p.m. EST, content cloning system, one group playbook, 30-day paid to launch framework roadmap to get paid to put your group, your workshop, and your offer out before making a single video or building your product, strategy vault, unrestricted access to every doc framework and launch plan personally used in ours and clients' businesses over the years, and then Classroom Unlock, which is something specific to school. Complimentary access to all sub $500 offers and currently inside of our community. 90-minute day marketing system, community to movement, one group playbook, and anything else we launch. All right. So this is also a cool way to increase the perceived value if you haven't created a ton of stuff. It's like, hey, I have this offer for you. We did this at the end of the year lifetime deal as well, where it's like, hey, we're planning on launching all this stuff next year. And if you buy now, you'll also get all this other stuff over here for free just by purchasing now.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
this is also something you can do. But again, don't promise things that you're not actually planning on creating. Uh, any of you guys that are in the school group, you'll actually see these products in the group that
Yeah.
some of you guys have bought them, right?
Yeah.
And then this is a repelling statement. Okay. Like we said, it's just as important to repel. Do not join if you're looking for a magic money button or get rich quick model. You can't commit to a single plan for at least 90 days. You want to scale at any cost, even if that means sacrificing relationships or integrity. It's also just like a repelling statement for us. We're not here to promise people a $80 million a month business. We are very much operate from a lifestyle driven business, freedom, high enjoyment with client work, ideal clients, etc. And we're not necessarily trying to build, the biggest company in the world. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's also a repelling statement. You want to rely on hype, quick cash BS instead of serving people with real value. Right? These
Yeah.
will look different for everybody in this room, but these are repelling statements.
Right.
And then this is rolling right into like de-risking the investments with some pricing. Now, this is a different, unique pricing strategy we're using for this actual offer because this is an actual offer document we're kicking off today, actually. So this is a bit of a different pricing strategy. It doesn't always have to be this complex, but this is an example of it. Like full value of this system is $2,000, which is what we're going to end up selling at. But we're currently in the beta phase of launching. Our live launch kicks off March 23rd, and for anyone who grabs their seat before then, can get access for 25% of the price. You can lock in lifetime access to everything above, and the frameworks can get started right now. For a single payment of $249, price doubles to $500 on February 27th, then to $1,000 or 3 payments of $400 on March 11th. So this is 3 different pricing tiers for this product. If it's your first offer, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this if I'm being honest. Like the traditional method that we've usually done is 50% now, right? And then after it's created, then we do, double the price is what we've done a lot of the times, right? So, and then rolling right into there, no high pressure triage calls, one time only countdown timers. Get ready to move away from complexity towards a grounded self-selling business. Click the link below and get instant access. See you on the inside. Okay. And then this is something we've recently started doing with our offer docs, is adding like a FAQ just to like cover a little bit more objections. And full transparency, I used AI to help me write these. Like, what are the biggest objections people would have around this offer? and then we put on here, right? Because people will kind of, go down rabbit holes and look at this document and like, oh, well, this is me. What if I don't have a community or my current group is a ghost town? Do I need a massive following to make this work? Can I really sell 500 to $5,000 offers without sales calls? What if my niche is different or sensitive? I'm already stretched time. Already stretched in. How much time does this actually take? Does this only work if I'm using school? Right. So handling all of those objections on this document, or at least a good chunk of them on the doc. That's something we've started playing around with, which isn't on the training we're actually giving you guys. Um, but yeah, something you guys can also add. Full FAQ.
Yeah. And
anything not clear about this offer, or did I like miss the mark with breaking this down for you guys? Because we can roll back to the traditional training. But we wanted to do this because a lot of the copy or the things that we're referencing is from this doc, and it's a relevant example because we're literally kicking off this offer in the next 30 days.
And transparently, we want to work with some new people that aren't lazy and want to put this into play for themselves. And we want to see you absolutely crush it and shoot the lights out this year. Right. But again, going back to the thing where it said, don't buy if you're not going to do anything. Right. Like we've literally tried to make things as easy as possible. We've even got tools that you get that will do a lot of the stuff that you hate doing or don't know how to do. It'll do it for you. So to kind of answer your question, Terry, it's a mix of both. Done with you, done for you, right? But you are supported the entire time. We want to help some new folks get those awards, hit those milestones that at one point we didn't think were possible. But if folks like Nate and myself can do it, then man, anybody can do it. We've already helped a ton of people do it already, right? So that's what we're looking for. We want to teach, give value for free, and then we want to attract the right people that want to work with us, right? We're pretty laid back, I'd like to think, and we want cool people, good people, like we love that part.
Do you need someone to handle Messenger? No, you can. Like if you're at that point in business where you want to like start outsourcing Messenger, you could do that. But is it a prerequisite? No.
No.
The goal of our entire ecosystem is to make like the sales process or like to make the actual conversion process a breeze. Right. So when the community and like the workshop is dialed in, sending the document should be relatively low pressure and very, very like, hey, I watched the video in the group. Can you send me the doc? Right. So that's the entire goal, is to help you guys engineer this system. They were giving you guys the offer doc itself. Right? Like I was saying, that's one pillar. That's like pillar number one. And then we can work backwards and really start to like refine the ecosystem that produces daily messages of like, hey, I watched the video in the community. Can you send me the document? Right. So that way your inbox is like, hey, I watched the video. Can you send me information on the offer? Hey, what does it look like working with you? Hey, I noticed you mentioned something on that call or that training you did or that post you put out in your group. Can you send me the document to that you mentioned? Or they comment on your content and you're like, hey, send me the doc. Right. And then we start a very quick, brief conversation with them. Hey, here's the information you asked. You asked for, give it a read. Let me know if you have any questions, and then you can kind of go back and forth on there. DMs is probably one of the quickest things you could outsource if you wanted to. But the ultimate goal isn't to like have you guys be like, closers 24/7. Right? I know for me, the thing that I get the most fulfillment in my own business is working with clients, working on stuff with them in their business, working on offers and content plans and all these things. So that means, how can I start like putting things in my business that allow me not to spend 18 hours a day in the DMs going back and forth. Right. So hopefully I'm answered that correctly. Yeah, we'll roll back to the main offer, right? So a lot of the copy we're going to reference today is from this document, as far as like real-time examples. This is the offer we're kicking off. today, and then we're doing like a little limited time price window until Friday at 8 p.m. Um, so it's not fancy. It's literally a Google document. And the one thing I will say too is, like Josh mentioned at the beginning of this call, sometimes you might need to iterate. You might need to change copy. Go send it to 10 or 15 people and see what they tell you. And when they tell you no, you ask them why, and then we add their objections to that document. Okay, we can then start to create a better converting document based on audience feedback. We talked about this a lot yesterday on our paid coaching call. Letting your clients or your prospects feel the decisions that you make. Okay. And I will say, if it's your first time doing this, this is going to be a bit of a heavy task.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't get married to what it is that you're doing, because things are going to change. You're going to evolve. You're going to get better. You're going to want to go different directions, right? I think a really cool good example would be the F word was at the top of my vocabulary about a year ago, and now I walk with Jesus, and I've changed quite a bit. Right, still the same guy, just different. So you're going to want to go different directions, and that's okay. So don't get married to what you're creating and have to have it perfect. All right, don't do that. That kept me stuck for a very long time, trying to, especially with an offer. I got to get it right the first time. It's got to make sales immediately. Not going to happen. All right, got to send it to people first.
So I won't cover this because we were vomited on you guys about. We basically ran through a lot of the doc, so we kind of already broke that down. So part 3, 10 pillars of a high converting offer doc.
Exactly.
Every offer doc that converts should cover these 10 elements. We'll walk you through each one, why it matters, and the question to answer. By the end, you'll have your entire offer doc mapped out. Okay. Pillar number 1, emotional diagnosis. What it is, how your ideal client is actually feeling right now, not surface level problem. A deeper identity tension. Okay. This is a big one. Like a surface, I'm going to help you create content. What does that mean? I help you make money online. But what does that actually mean? How? Right? Like, people don't buy solutions, they buy relief from how they're feeling, which sounds counterintuitive because I've talked about selling solutions, which you are, but people can't understand what it feels like to be at a result that they have not accomplished. They can't understand the pain that they're currently in. If I go tell somebody who's never built an online business, hey, you're going to build a 6-figure online business, the immediate thought is like, oh, I can never do that. Oh, I've never made 6 figures in a year in my entire life. I'm not good enough, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to get a myriad of excuses or feelings that they can't even understand. So I'm trying to sell them on a transformation that they don't even believe. So we need to think about your actual audience and the pain that they're currently in. And that's the relief we're trying to, help them get away from. So the thing to remember with being a marketer or being a online business owner or selling products and services, your job is literally to find a painful situation that your audience is in and to apply continuous pressure onto that. It's not to make them feel bad. It's not to make them feel like a bad person because they're going through the situation, but that's literally what you're doing. And the one thing that I've been referencing a lot, if you look at, this isn't specific to offer documents, but if you look at like alcohol commercials, this is one that I've referenced probably a lot over the last couple of months, is they're selling you on this feeling of having the tequila. It's not like they're running this ad where you're drinking tequila and you're hammered and you have to like call an Uber because you can't walk or whatever. They're not selling you on that. Okay. They're selling you on, being at the beach with your friends and smiling and having a great time and this feeling or experience that you could have by using the product. Right? So that's an example, right? If you can articulate their internal state better than they can, they trust you instantly. They think this person gets me. The goal of your offers or your content or your offer docs is to like get your audience to be like, oh, this is me. This person is speaking to me individually, right? The number one phrase that we've used over the years a lot is like, so you can, right? If you are, you need to like pretend like you're talking to a single person in a room versus all you guys, right? I think this is probably even going to get increasingly important the deeper we get into the AI landscape, where we're all like in this dystopian, everybody feels super disconnected from everybody else. So if we can get very specific on single person avatar, single, specific pain points, it's going to be beneficial. Okay. So questions to answer: what keeps them up at night? What embarrasses them to admit? What do they secretly fear is true about themselves? Um, what identity are they trying to escape, or what identity are they trying to step into? How would they describe their situation to a close friend after a few drinks? Okay, these are the questions we want to answer in pillar number one. Example from the offer doc: you built this business to be free, but now you're stuck at your desk all day. You're making money, but clocking more hours than you did when you were at a job. You're starting to wonder if this is as good as it gets. Right. So I'm thinking like thoughts. Okay. You started your business to be free. Now you're stuck at your desk all day. You're making money, but clocking more hours than you did when you were at a job. Okay. So these are all like things that they potentially feel or painful situations that they're currently in. All right. Making sense so far as like pillar number one?
Yeah. I'll hit a couple of the next points if you guys are good. Pillar 2 is like present pains. We love the word specificity. We had a client that couldn't say that word. Oh, Jess. We still pick on her about it. Specificity is like how much detail can you put into what it is you're trying to explain, right? Like, here's an example, and it'll be really good, especially since I'm back to work. I can remember waking up, going to clock in, driving an hour, working a 12-hour shift, being on my 7th work day, which I don't work like that now, but being on my 7th work day, just thinking like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be something I can do where I don't have to work as much overtime. Like I'm missing, the best part of my kid's life at a very young age, the first 2 years that they were born. That's very specific, right? Not being home, missing out on important things with, your wife, your husband, your family. So you want to describe it in a way that they can see it and feel it, right? Not vague, not broad, but very, very specific. And why this matters is like vague pain, that's going to give you vague interest. All right. Very, very specific pain. And we're like, man, I felt that. You ever been talking to someone or you read something and you're like, man, I felt that on a deep, that hit my soul, right? The more specific you get, the more they feel like you're talking directly to them, right? We all probably see content from people, videos, whether it be business related, offer related, maybe just motivational or inspirational, someone just telling their story, right? Like my wife gets so deep into some of the TikTok creators that she follows, like she's feeling their emotions. Like she's so deep into their story. Like she knows where they went to the store yesterday because she's so emotionally like involved. Right? Makes sense? Same thing for us when we're talking about things, when we're trying to explain something, we're trying to get a point across. We want someone to understand something very specific about us. The more specific you get, the more they feel like you're talking to them. So questions that need to be answered. What's the one thing that's not working for them right now? Write down as many things that come to mind. What have they tried that failed? I'm going to give you all some examples of all of these in a second. But what have they tried that failed? And I'm going to give you a cheat code. What does a bad day look like for them? And what symptoms would they look up or Google or research at 2:00 in the morning when they can't sleep? And what do they complain about to other people? Maybe it's family in their industry. What are they saying that they don't like? All right. Here's the cheat code. You can answer these questions from your own personal experience and get some really good ones. What's one thing that's not working for you? What's one thing that you've tried that didn't work? Right? I just use myself as an example. I tried drop shipping, right? I tried done for you affiliate marketing. I've spent money on ads, right? I bought a ton of courses that promised me the world and left me high and dry, right? Like none of that's been working, right? Posting content every day for the last 6 months, no sales. Stare at my computer screen or my phone for 3 hours a day and never post, right? What have they tried that failed? Come up with some of your own personal experience, stuff that you're seeing. What does a bad day look like for them? It's like, I woke up motivated and I was going to do all these things. I had my to-do list wrote down. I was going to post, 18 pieces of content and posted 0. I sent my offer out 18 times and everybody said no. I really thought I had a winner, but I didn't, And then symptoms. What are they going to bed at night, staring at the ceiling because they can't sleep, and they just can't go to sleep because that's all they can think about? It's like, man, you can go on some deep stuff for that. You can get in very, very big detail, right? Example, from the offer doc, if you're stuck on sales calls you hate, you're going, live every day just so people can see you, even though a lot of people don't show up. You can add and get more specific, right? You're starting every month at 0, and then you're having to start over at the first of every month. Your income depends entirely on you going live or you posting 20 times a day, right? And then you're setting the tone to paint them the future picture or the future vision, right? So everybody good on pillar 2? Questions? All right.
Pillar number 3, future vision. What it is, what does their life look like after the deliverables? Okay, like this is the other thing to remember with selling any type of products online, courses, coaching, information, whatever you're selling. Uh, they don't care about how many lessons are inside of the thing. They care about where it's going to take them. Okay, they're not buying group juice because it has 296 videos in it. Like that's not a sexy angle for me to use, right? It's like, is it going to help me get to my goal? And better yet, can you help somebody get to the goal in less steps? That's also something to be aware of. Uh, People buy the future, not features. They're not buying like I just said, they're not buying your program because of all the different trainings and resources. It's a very easy thing to try to leverage in the beginning, and it's not compelling enough. It won't hit hard enough, in my opinion. Uh, it, it's it's very hard to go deep enough on this. Okay, they need to see themselves in the outcome. They need to feel like what it would be like. Now, again, if you're selling a big outcome, like I've said a few times on this training, we need to think about getting clear on the pain that they're currently in because sometimes they won't understand the outcome or the transformation or they won't believe it. Right. If I tell somebody I went from minimum wage to helping clients make millions of dollars online in profits, if they don't know anything about me, their immediate, like, red flags are going to go off. Like, okay, this is too good to be true, which is, to be fair, like a lot of the market promises crazy things, like, so it's completely understandable. But we all, that's also paired with the one thing we've done very well over the years, and not to say this like with any type of ego, is we pair the results or the outcome that somebody could get to with the amount of work that would be required to get there. Okay. So questions you need to answer in this section. What does a great day look like after they've implemented this? What do they get back? This is also like kind of going hand in hand with some of the other things we're talking about, some of the other pillars. After they've removed this, what do they get back? Time, money, energy, freedom, peace. What are they actually getting to remove from their business? As an example, what they get to stop doing? What no longer becomes a problem? So if I'm writing this actual offer document, I'm going to start referencing some of the, you know, parts that I used in pillar number 2, right? You no longer have to go live on TikTok every single day for 4 hours just to sell your $500 product. Okay? Your calendar will be completely free from strategy sessions. Your calendar will no longer look like a Christmas tree because you have back-to-back strategy sessions, 8 hours a day, and you're still supposed to go to your daughter's dance recital tonight. But let's be real, you're probably just going to be refreshing your Gmail, seeing if that customer bought instead of actually being present with your kids. Okay. There's all sorts of ways that I could get very specific on things that would be removed, feelings or situations that are being removed, right? Your wife has been complaining that you haven't been present in the relationship. And now you're sneaking off at dinner to go into the bathroom and check your Stripe dashboard to see if a client purchased the product from the strategy session that you had this morning. Like actually hitting some emotions or situations that potentially people would be in. I know this was a problem for me, especially early in business. Being actually present in what I was doing, was hard. I always felt guilty that I should be showing up in my business. I should be had a very hard time turning it off. Right. So how can I actually like talk about where the future is paired with, their current situation? Okay. What becomes possible that wasn't before? And then how do they feel when they wake up? Right? Do they wake up feeling like, fuck, I hate my business. I don't want to do another day of this. Or are they waking up like fired up, ready to run their day?
Let's go.
So example, you wake up, log into one place, check messages from people ready to buy, send your offer doc, they pay. 90 minutes later, you close your laptop, you pick your kids up from school. That's your whole day. It's an example of some copy. Okay.
Come on. Come on. Now we go into the proof. All right. Now there's all kinds of proof, guys. And like I had said earlier, if you're not at the point of having monetary proof, that's totally okay. Even if you have monetary proof and you don't like talking about it, like Nate and myself, I actually hate talking about the monetary proof. I would much rather highlight, student and client wins over our own. But all kinds of proof. And this is just anything that proves or acts as evidence that what you're talking about and what you're offering and what you're doing actually works for you, for other people, just like any kind of real results. All right. Now, why it matters, everyone wants to know that it works, right? Like you're not going to go and buy this, healthy medicine that's going to help you lose 20% body fat unless there's proof that it works, right? And this goes for all things. Claims without proof is just marketing. And let me tell you, there's a lot of this kind of marketing out there, and it's terrible, and it makes people like us, our jobs much, much harder. Proof makes it real. Not once have Nate and I went out and, said, hey, you're going to make $1 million, or you're going to make 90 grand in 30 days. We've never done that. We've actually told people the complete opposite from Jump Street. It's like, hey, don't buy our stuff if you're not going to put in 6 to 12 months of work. It's not going to be for you. And we stand on that. Neither have Nate and I made any sale or sold anything we've created or any affiliate product that, made us feel bad. Everything that we've promoted, everything we've created and sold, we stand by it 100%, and we stand on that. Like I've never felt bad about anything I sold. Now, to get more specific, and on the proof side of things, you've got monetary proof, then you've got like emotional proof, you've got situational proof. There's lots of different ways you can do this, even if you don't have it yourself. Okay. So as he's getting back to where we were, the more believable that you become, the easier it is for folks to buy into you. Not even the thing that you're selling. That's something else that goes missed in our industry or just business in general. People they're not going to buy your product first. They have to buy into you first. All right. So here's what we want to include when it comes to proof. If you have it, your own results. This could be a simple mindset shift that you've had, or a different confidence that you've acquired. Right? Like, man, I used to, beat myself up all the time. I didn't think I could do this, but now I wake up, I grab my coffee, I sit down, and I get into it, and I'm excited to do it. Right? This could be numbers, it could be timelines, it could be just hard things that you've came from or learned how to get out of. Client student results, if you got it and you can, names, stories, outcomes, and context behind that particular result. Don't really like screenshots, but they do work, and Nate and I believe that they are necessary at times, just for proof of concept. But see, how we go about it is how we encourage other people to go about it. If you have a screenshot, all right, doesn't matter if it's monetary or non-monetary, but let's just say it's a screenshot on a result that you have gotten or you help someone else get. We always share the work that went into getting that result. It's not like, hey, made 10 grand right here, right? And they don't mention the fact that, we did 3 weeks of marketing and then we did 2 weeks of selling. And, we did a live free training and then we talked to 200 people, right? Most people leave that part out. So anytime you share a screenshot or a result, especially a monetary result, make sure you're giving context of what went into it to get that result. All right. So screenshots, testimonials, case studies. If you go and help someone, free or paid, don't be afraid to go and ask them like, hey, look, I'm trying to let more folks know what I'm about and how I operate, and what I'm offering. Would you be cool with like writing me a quick little testimony or give me some feedback? Or would you mind recording a 60-second video that I can, share with other people? Case studies if you have them. Look at how long you've been doing this, like the longevity behind it. Like Nate and I, we can finally say like, hey, we've been in this game since 2017. We failed for the first 3 years and kind of did well after that. So we've been in the game for 9 years, right? That kind of matters too. If you see two people saying the same thing, one says, yeah, I've been doing this 6 months. I really think you can make, $100,000 in a year. They haven't did it. The second person says, hey, I've been doing this for 9 years. I failed for the first 3, but then I got to a point where I did make $100,000 in a year. Right. The next one was 300,000. The next was $500,000. And I walked the stage with my business partner and we went and got an award for taking a product to $1 million. Right. The journey matters. The experience you have matters. Your failures are just as important as your successes. Right. And that gives you the last one, variety. How many things have you did? Right. Different situations. Have you used the same model, same strategy to sell 11 different products? Nate and I have. We use the same exact model to sell physical, digital, services, consulting, coaching, bundle deals, combos, etc. All with the same strategy. Okay. So as an example, coming from the actual offer that you guys can grab for like 75% off until Friday, over $1,100 a day average for 1,700 plus days. Right. I think we're about 5 in student sales. We got clients, ranging all across the board, different revenues up to 100K in 100 days, with, a digital product and a community under 700 people. And then we've got, people that do $100,000 a month, while working a full-time job. So it's like no one's immune or disqualified to use this model, whether they work full-time or they're, have $1 million a year business, whatever. This has worked for everyone that's applied it, right?
Rolling right into pillar number 5, game plan mechanism. What it is, your method, your system. Flip talked about this a little bit earlier, talking about your unique proposition in the market. The thing that takes them from where they are to where they want to be. You still need this if you are doing an affiliate promotion or you're selling somebody else's program. If you guys are doing that, the piggyback I will say on pillar number 5 is it needs to be adjacent things. It can't be more of the same. So let's say my affiliate program teaches people how to make money with Instagram Reels, I don't want my mechanism to be the exact same thing as Instagram Reels. It would need to be something complementary to the actual product, complementary to the program that I'm selling. Like, we've told this to a lot of group juice affiliates, like, um, if you're selling group juice as an affiliate, uh, or you're an affiliate of ours, like, what is your unique spin on our process or our model, right? How do you use it specifically? Um, what are, like, we cover step 1 to 5, 1 through 5, then you would need to cover, step 6 through 9 as an example. It can't necessarily be more of the same. It's something you also need to be aware of in your marketing, right? So, like, as an example, this training, I can't use, like, me helping you get clear on your offer as a sexy angle to have you come buy this brand new product that we're launching on March 23rd, because we're giving it to you for free right now. There needs to be the next thing, which I've done this naturally. I've kind of agitated the point that this is pillar number 1 of an entire ecosystem that we're going to help you build. Okay? So it's not intentionally leaving pieces out, but you need to be clear on this. Okay? So the mechanism creates belief that the outcome is actually believable for them. If they don't understand the path, they won't understand the destination, or they won't trust the destination. It's like, you say you're going to help me get to this result, but there's no context of how I'm actually going to get there. Okay, so questions you need to answer: what is the core process or framework? I think best case scenario, you do, like, 2 to 5 main pillars to get somebody to the goal or the result. Like, hey, this is my 100-step process to losing, uh, you know, 20 pounds after you have a baby. Like, like 100 steps. Like, it's not compelling, right? So, like, hey, this is my 3-part process to shedding 20 pounds, within the first 6 weeks of having a baby, as an example. Okay. What's the core process or framework? What are the key steps or phases, as I was just saying? What makes your approach different from what they've tried? Why does this work when other things haven't? What's the new opportunity you're offering them? Okay, what, again, answering that question, why is this different from everything else I've tried? Why is this different from everything else I've bought? Hey, I've already tried communities. Why is this different? I've already tried online business. Why is this different? Okay, what about it is different? What's the unique spin or proposition that you potentially have to make this unique to you or to the potential product that you're trying to sell? This is an example from the doc itself. We install a 4-part system: your offer doc, close sales without calls; your community, reverse engineer to make people ready to buy; your workshop, pre-sales your program 24/7; your 90-minute system, keep it running daily. Okay. So obviously this is a bit condensed, but this is what we're doing on a deeper level. Okay. We're talking about the 4 phases that we do install inside of business, not 100 steps, not, uh, you know, 87 video masterclass that's going to help you get to X result. No, we help you install these 4 parts into your business, right? Smaller, more obtainable outcome versus, a million different things that people have to do. Okay. We all have busy lives. We all have busy things. We all have obligations and things that we have going on in our day to day life. Like, telling somebody that they're going to need to, commit 90 hours a day to your thing is not going to work. Okay. It also will greatly depend on your ideal avatar too, right? Like, you're working with moms who got kids jumping off the couch, screaming for snacks. They got to do school drop off, school pickup. They got to get ready. They got to do all these other crazy things in business. Like, they don't want to sign up for something that's going to make them feel like, well, now I have this other full time job. Okay, so this is a big one. The game plan, the mechanism is key. If you guys don't have You guys, this will make more sense too when we get to, like, a fill in the blank template for you guys, and, like, you guys will have to make a copy to fill it out. But we need to get clear on your actual frameworks. What is your methodology? What is your system? Like, if you're unclear on this, writing an offer or selling anything is going to be hard. It's like, hey, I help people build better relationships with their spouse. How? What does that mean? What do you do? What don't you do? Like, what is the actual process that you do to help somebody get to the outcome that you're promising? Like, We need to actually think about the mechanism and the steps you actually take to get somebody there. And the easiest way to do this is list out your own. List out what you did to do this thing. Like we've talked about a lot on today's call with you guys so far. If we're selling people on things that we have personally accomplished or done in business or life, then it's very easy to like list out the steps that we took to get there, and then we curate the offer to be those steps. Okay, like the offer we're selling, the offer we're creating. This is a system and a process we've refined over the last 5 years in our own business. So it's very easy for us to be like, okay, this is step one, this is step two, this is step three, because we've done it a lot of times. We've repeated it over and over and over again. Okay. So if you're unclear on this will make your offer kind of hard to do in general. If you guys want to go back and forth about what your mechanism could be or what that would actually look like, happy to hang out and jam out on that too. But this is the actual like how they get to the result.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at a lot of everything before pillar 5, it's like setting the scene of like the pain, transformation, outcome that they could be, and then this is explaining how they would get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Which
Yes.
again, this is what a lot of people end up just referencing to. It's like you buy this and then you get this 1, 2, 3 thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before we hit that next pillar, just to address what Sharita said, that's all of us, right? But Sharita, I still see you show up on, days where you're not feeling it. Nate's talked about it. That right there can be a superpower, and it can be a unique selling proposition too. Like, hey, what I teach you how to do is how to show up when you don't feel like it, right? We all have those days where we feel off, we're unmotivated, right? We don't want to do anything, but there's 2 things that you can do that allow you to still get things done, right? That can be a very unique selling proposition if it's positioned correctly, right?
Yeah, and I have a abrasive opinion on motivation. I think motivation's a feeling, right? So like you said, you do it even when you're not feeling your own messaging or your own thing. And that I wish I could tell everybody in this room that building a brand and a business will all be unicorns and rainbows, and every day is going to be magical. But there is going to be days where you don't want to do stuff, and you got to do it anyways. Right? There's going to be days where you feel a little off, and we're not motivated to do things. And for me, those are usually the best indications that I should do it. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's like the days that I'm like in my head and like, oh, I really don't want to do video. I can do it later. I don't want to do a piece of content. I can do it later. I don't want to do that YouTube video. I can do it later. I try to force myself to just like rip the Band-Aid off and do it right now, because motivation fades. It does 100%. Yeah. What's your method style that gets them there? 3 to 5 steps. Classes open every 2 weeks for 1 year. We could take longer if needed. How would I make this sound interesting? So, like, as an example, classes every 2 weeks. What are the classes?
What are they teaching?
Yeah. Yep.
What do they get? What do they get out of it? Where are they at now versus what they get after they take the class? Right. It's kind of in the pillar we were just covering. Like you have to put a little bit of thought into it. Look at, trying to give you a good example, just for today. Like, how do you create a good offer that's going to make you, $1,000 in a day? Well, you need these X amount of pillars, right? Get those pillars over in this class, right? And then I run a class twice a week. It's okay if you can't make it. If you got your schedule's too busy, or you got to pick the kids up, or you don't get off till XYZ, you come back and watch the replay, or let me know your question beforehand and I'll answer it, right? It's following the exact things that we covered in here will help you with that, among similar things. Like, it's just specifics. Like what Nate and I have noticed that sells the most is specifics. The more specific and dialed in, on a narrow thing, the more detailed we are, the more specific, the better the results typically are. Like not trying to stay in 5 lanes versus creating one lane that's very narrow, if that makes sense.
The big thing the first thing that comes to mind is like classes open every 2 weeks for 1 year. Like the easiest way to transition from that is like what is in those classes, or like if it's a 12-month commitment, what are we covering in each quarter of the year? What is the outcome of each quarter of 12 months? What is the transformation, right? Phase 1 we do this. P1 we get to here. P2 we get to here, right? And then these are all like game plan mechanism, right? Versus like we get a bunch of classes, or we get step 1, 2, 3. Like this is what we've also been talking about. Like, yeah, these are steps to the process, but like what are they? Right? We need to answer that. We need to answer what those look like. What are they going to do? What are they going to accomplish? What are they going to learn? What's the transformation that gets provided in each step? The other thing that we haven't talked about, when you're doing like mechanisms, you really want to try your best to solve a series of problems or a sequence of problems. So to give you guys context on this actual training we're running right now, this is step 1 in a series of problems that we help people in business. And we haven't hid that fact, right? This is pillar 1. This is pillar 1. This is like pillar point 5 of our ecosystem. Like just full transparency. We have a full system that we can help you install all of it. Okay. But as an example, it's not like we're giving you pillar 1 and then we're like, hey, come buy pillar 1 from me. It doesn't work. Right. So we need to solve a series of problems. Right. So what is the core process or framework? Like, what are the 3 to 5 steps? What are they? What does it include? What doesn't it include? What makes it different from all the other things they've tried? Why does this work when other things haven't? Like, just lay this out, like in detail. And the one thing I will say is like your guys' first offer is probably going to be very, very, very long. So I would much rather have you guys go create an offer that's like way too long, but it has a lot of context, and then we can start chopping it down, shrinking it, condensing. Because what happens very naturally, which we don't even realize, we end up repeating ourselves. We say the same thing over and over again in multiple different ways, or we'll end up having a lot of redundancy. I know we've done this a lot in the past with some of our offers. It's like, oh, we can just delete this entire section because it's already somewhere else in the doc, right? So just lay it all out. That's what I would say first. So this is kind of, again, this right here isn't enough context, right? But as you guys can see, this doc's already 26 pages, so I didn't want to, add like 17 lines of specificity on this because we already ran through the doc itself as well. But this is a condensed like what we're doing. Okay, the mechanism. Okay. Muted.
I was just trying to say, Nate and I have a strength that's also a weakness where we can't help but explain things in detail, trying to get through this as quick as we can, but we just want to serve first, honestly. So we want to make sure everybody understands, and explain it in a way that we wish someone would have explained it to us. All right. So we're trying to get through this quickly as we can. Pillar 6 is like character and the vibe. All right, like who are you? How are you standing? What is your stance and your position? The energetic posture of your offer, if you will, and the personality that you're carrying. People buy into people, right? It could be like I saw Victoria was one that she's got an affiliate offer where a lot of other people are selling that. So one of the ways she's going to stand out in this crowd of people with the same offer is her personality, right? Who she is as a person, her character, things that she likes and doesn't like. Like your personal brand is what matters. Okay. So Are you a bold person? Are you calm? Are you kind of shut in? Are you shy? Are you scrappy, exclusive, no BS? Are you, aggressive or abrasive, as Nate, implies himself, which Nate can be, but he's not as bad, in my opinion. He just puts it bluntly and doesn't beat around the bush. Why this matters is your offer is going to attract people who resonate with the person that you are and the energy that you bring, as well as how your offer is taken, right? Like if they're going through it and they can kind of tell that maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a personality trait that they can't get down with, right? Maybe you're not blunt and you go into too much detail. They just want someone to be like, hey, do this first. But if you're like, hey, I'm gonna need you to do this, and I'll slap your hand if you don't. Some people, they want what they want. You know what kind of person you are, right? So the wrong vibe is going to attract the wrong people, and the right vibe makes the right people feel like they have found their people. They're ready to rock. So questions coming into this: what kind of person does this offer attract? Does it attract the person who's like looking for a lazy side hustle, that doesn't have to do any work, need any experience, can make $500 their first day? Or does it attract a person who's like, okay, I know this is going to take work, I need to put in at least 6 months before I can expect any kind of tangible result that's going to make me feel good? Like I'm going to have to work, right? I know what I have to do. This investment requires effort, and I don't get my investment back, no ROI, until I do X. What's the tone? Is it intense? Is it playful? Is it direct? Is it nurturing? Right? Like, how is it that you teach? How is it that you support people? Are you very blunt, direct, and borderline mean teacher? Or are you understanding, compassionate, right? You're there for people. What does it feel like to be inside of this offer? Like how do you want people to feel? What do you want them to experience? What kind of transformation, right? What energy do you not want in your bubble? And when I say bubble, I mean like your client roster, your students, in your support system. What do you not want? You got to be clear on that too, right? If your offer was a person, how would they talk? How would it be portrayed if they were speaking to a group of people? Right? All of these things come into play. And please, by all means, write exactly how you speak. All right. Don't be a certain way in content or in your offer when you're a completely different person behind closed doors after they buy, because you're going to get refunds. People are going to be unhappy and they're going to want to talk and throw shade, and it's going to be bad. Right? Like that's why, when me and Nate were first getting started, if you watched our content, the person that you saw is the person that you got, whether it was in public or in private. We were the same people no matter what. And we are still that way. Right? So a good example is this is calm, right? Our offer that, we're bringing to life today it's not hype. Okay. It's very simple. It's not complex. And it's, basically for operators and creators who, want a different kind of freedom, a peace, if you will, not people chasing get rich quick schemes or trying to make 30 grand in the next 22 hours. We want to protect the energy of all the folks inside. You can go and ask, all 60, 70 private clients that we got of how it is inside, how it's been for the last few years, the type of people that we are. Do we care? Do we help? Do we listen? Do we show up? And we've met a lot of them in person. So go and ask them if you need to, but make this clear so that people know what they're getting into before they ever buy. You do that, and even if you don't do it well, if you almost nail it or get it as close as you can, people will know exactly what they're getting before they jump in, which is going to be easier for them to make a buying decision or the decision to dip out, which is good either way.
This is a big one too, because I think I think we project what an offer should feel like, and then it sounds like marketing. It sounds very sterile. Like how can we break the experience for your potential customers? Like if I look at a lot of the offers we've written over the years, jokes, funny stuff, foul language, like whatever is the way that you speak or highlights your actual personality traits. Um, like we've seen this so many times. Like it was funny because we got to know some of our private clients so well that this is before we were, for a period of time there, we were very against AI. And it was the funniest thing because people would send us, this is one thing we do in our paid programs is we do offer reviews. We review people's offer docs for them. And, we look at them and help them, red pen them, so to speak, and go over them. And it's like the number of times that we've had to like ask people, like, did you even write this? Oh, this doesn't sound like you. We've been on calls with you for months and years. Some of them, it's like, and this doesn't sound like something you would actually say.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a crucial one, especially if you guys have a brand, you guys create content, anything like that, which realistically 99% of you guys are. You need to like highlight who you are as like a person in the doc, which is different for everybody in this room. Right. It's a big one. It's literally slept on most of the time. It's like, well, I'm going to be very sterile and I have to be very professional. There's merit in breaking the tone of the space that you're also in as well. If you can be completely different, if you are in like a very professional workspace and next thing you know, you got a picture of you in like a unicorn onesie and you're like, hey, I help business owners. I help people get like B2B clients and you're wearing a onesie. You're like different, just like night and day. Like I know somebody who runs a SaaS. That's what he does. He always wears like unicorn outfits and hats, and he's like the craziest off the wall dude because like it's a breath of fresh air in your space. Now, and I'm not saying to like make that up if that's not you, but the point I'm trying to make is we really need to highlight who you are because, like Flip said too, that's what people are buying. Yes, they buy your product, they buy your offers, they buy your programs, they buy the system that you're promising them. But what people actually buy into long before they ever buy anything from you is you.
Yeah.
The relatability and the connection they have with you. So there has to be some type of congruency in the offer itself. Because then if we're like switching to, a completely different character, try to sell them something, it's going to feel off.
Yeah.
And these are the types of things your audience will pick up on without telling you.
Very quickly.
Right.
Sum up that whole pillar right there. Do yourself and be honest. You can't mess up if you do that. Because no matter what you do, and you can ask me and Nate how we know, people are gonna hate you and love you. No matter what you do. No matter how you do it, you're gonna have both. All right. If everybody loves you, you're not being yourself. If everybody hates you, I don't know what to tell you.
Alrighty, let's roll. I don't know why my computer is not playing nice with me today.
Yeah.
Pillar number 7: offer structure. What do they actually get? How is it delivered? What's included? People need to know what they're buying. We want to reduce friction. Okay, so like if we can talk about what this, like we had a question on this call, like literally. So that also indicates, hey, maybe we need to fix something about our actual offer that we're selling because, like Terry asked, hey, is this done for you? Is it done with you, etc. Right? So that's highlighting something we could add to the offer document to even improve it. Right? So again, we're not perfect by any means. So what to include: format, live recorded, hybrid, 1-to-1, group, community, timeline, 4 days, 8 weeks, 12 months, lifetime. Deliverables, training, templates, call, access, resources, bonuses, if any, keep them relevant, not random. This is probably another thing that we could go deeper into. Is the easiest thing to do with like, hey, add bonuses is we add, hey, when you buy my program, you get 10,000 ready to sell digital products. And it's like we want to keep the bonuses hyper relevant to the main product and complementary to the product itself. It's like if I was trying to sell this offer and then I'm like, hey, well, you're going to get a script that's going to allow you to close deals on sales calls, it doesn't make sense. It's not congruent, right? Because we're like literally curating this offer to like remove sales calls from your business, which is very easy to do with bonuses. We want to create it very, very congruent bonus stack. Less is more if they're not congruent. So like 3 to 5 bonuses potentially. And I
Yeah.
would say honestly maximum.
And
And you can get as creative as you possibly want with bonuses. We've literally given away plane tickets to come hang out with us in person. We've sent books, monitors, laptops, Chromebooks, like notebooks, pens, uh, extra
all kinds of
support.
stuff.
Like you're literally only limited to your own creativity with bonuses. Um, but you want to keep them congruent to the same outcome. We don't want to try to sell them on 2 different outcomes. They all need to be like Sharita was asking, they need to be complementary solutions,
Yeah.
right?
Don't sell someone a diet plan and then give them $100 gift card to Krispy Kreme,
Yep.
right? Don't do that. Um,
Exactly. And we need,
yeah.
like so I help, like as an example, diet plan. So bonuses would be like, a scale to count calories or a mixer for your drinks or energy. And then you have like, maybe a meal tracker, digital product, or maybe you have one-on-one call or, a personalized meal plan, like all these different things that would complement the same outcome of the product, not like taking them away from it. So, and then support structure, how do they get help? Okay. This is another big one. Support is a huge piece. It's not as it's funny to watch how much the online landscape has evolved because like back when we first launched our main program, support was pretty non-existent. As far as like there was a few programs that kind of offered support in the landscape. Now it's pretty common, but we need to lay it out right. So like with our new offer we're kicking off next month, you get Tuesday and Thursday calls with us. Okay, not
Yeah.
like somebody we're hiring and outsourcing. Like I love the calls with the clients, so we do 2 calls a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12 p.m. EST. That's the support system, right? Q&As, tactical feedback, reviews, etc. Like laying out the actual support structure, and we might probably, which is great English, might probably adding some type of chat support in there as well. Not set in stone yet, but that's an example of like different support systems. If you guys are earlier in business, and you don't have a lot of results, the one thing that is probably the most compelling angle that you can lean into is leaning heavy into that support or that access to you. And I know a lot of people look at this like, well, I can't scale that. It's not scalable. And we shouldn't even worry about that yet. I know for me, when I first started selling products, it was like, hey, if you buy this product from me, I'll give you one-on-one calls for the next 6 months every week. And I did that for a long time. I did that for a lot of clients. And I'm not saying you guys have to do the exact same thing, but it is probably one of the quickest and easiest things that you can add to increase the perceived value. Um, and most people aren't willing to do it. It also allows you to get proof of concept really quickly because then you're gonna like be working one on one with somebody, and then you're gonna get proof of concept. You're gonna get feedback from them. You're gonna get confidence because they're gonna be asking you questions. Um, and I'm not saying to do it forever. Like do it for the first 5 clients. Hey, for the first 5 people that grab this brand new offer from me, I'm gonna do one-on-one calls with you for the next 90 days.
Yep.
I'm going to give you unrestricted access to my DMs for the next 90 days. And I'm
Yep.
not saying you have to do that forever, but if I was brand new starting over, this is exactly what I would do. I would go I would literally like essentially give a few clients the shirt off my back for proof of concept, some sales, some results, getting some people in the door, right? So then I can help them and then I can turn around and turn that into my marketing. And then I can remove that from the offer, right? And then I switch it to a group model. And I do group calls every week instead of one-to-ones, right? But in that very early stages is I think a lot of people try to operate their business the same way as somebody who's already making a ton of money. They're running a scalable, leveraged business. And if we're brand new, we can't operate the exact same way because they a lot of the times they have clout, lead flow, and authority that we don't have yet. right? So it
Yeah.
sounds counterintuitive, but like giving access to some of your time in that very early stages of getting your first handful of clients. Okay.
Makes you different without a doubt. Me and Nate did this quite a bit to get some initial results that we were then able to leverage, right? And this was like in the beginning stages before we had made a bunch of sales, right? Like 'cause we didn't have monetary return, unfortunately. Um,
That personal
but
touch you were talking about.
exactly, exactly. We can all do that, right? So one more thing I wanted to mention before covering pillar 8 is one of the biggest bottlenecks that all of us, all of you, many other people are going to run into is they start worrying about problems before it's a problem. You know, any of the things that were just listed on those bullet points. We like, I don't know what kind of format to do. What is my timeline? What bonuses do I add? What do I do when I get 20 clients? Let's get one, and then we'll worry about the other 19 when they happen. Right. So fit and filters. This is one that's overlooked and underrated, especially on the spectrum of who is this not for. Nate and I, at this point, we've had probably about 6,000 customers purchase stuff from us, and we've seen all kinds of people and personalities, both wonderful people as well as absolutely evil with terrible intentions. That before and after full surrender to Jesus Christ, I've wanted to put my hands on them because I still deal with my own fleshly desires. So you're gonna make sure you want to be clear on who you do not want to work with, right? And call them out, with compassion and detail. Okay. And just think about it for a second. If you've had dealings with someone that was just terrible, just put you in a bad mood, triggered you in all the ways, that's probably the kind of people you don't want to work with. All right. So why it matters is, a filter is in place for one reason: to catch the bad stuff and allow the good stuff to come on through. Who's not for? What is it that's going to disqualify someone to work with you or not work with you? All right. So it's going to repel bad fits before they buy, saves you headaches, refunds, shut down payment accounts. Ask us how we know. It's just going to save you a lot of stress and headache. Number 2 is it attracts good fits by showing you actually have standards and morals. People want to be a part of something that's different and selective. Um, me and Nate, we got to experience something, meeting some of our clients that we hadn't met yet this past year. And some of them were just like starstruck, like, I can't believe I'm standing in front of you, Flip. Like, I'm a nobody, dude. I live in Virginia. I'm from a small town, and I've made a lot of terrible mistakes in my life. I'm just a regular guy, just like you. Right? Same thing with Nate. But it's different because you build these relationships with people to where, like a lot of the people in core, they're not clients to us. They are like family. Like they know things about us that our blood family doesn't know, right? Because we are so open, honest, and transparent. It's a whole different thing. That's the kind of people that you want to attract. And this isn't being, exclusive or biased, for just the sake of it. It's being honest about who's actually going to succeed and who you actually want to give your time to, And for them, it's like, all right, because they said this, I know that they're my people and I can trust them, right? Me and Nate, we've been burned by a lot of investments, okay, like upwards of 10 grand or more, where we just got straight burned, didn't get any money, didn't get support, just left to, sorry, go figure it out. So answer these questions. What mindset or behavior, would make someone fail with this? Are they a victim in everything? And I apologize if you have someone like this in your life for outside of business purposes, which you probably do. But who always plays the victim mentality? All right, who's always talking about, they're just out to get me? It's like a conspiracy theory. Just always negative. Misery loves company. Misery is not invited in our circle. Okay, like we all deal with hard stuff and we support each other through it when things do get hard, and that's just how we rock. But it's not about negativity. It's about, hey, like we're all going through challenges. The one thing about life is going to life. It is going to be tough at times. And you better have yourself surrounded with the right people that's going to support you and see you through it. All right. Now, why do you not want, who do you not want in this offer? Any of the negative people, any of the things that you hate dealing with, any of the traits, personalities of people that are going to bring you down, attack your spirit, and not let you operate as yourself. What should someone already have or believe before joining? You know, Nate and I have ran a couple offers that were very, very specific. It's like, hey, you got to have a Facebook group or a group of 500 people, and you need to have an offer of $500 or more. If you don't have that, sorry, you can't buy this no matter how much you want to, right? Or, hey, you need to be making at least $5,000 a month, or you need to be making at least $1,000 a month, right? Hey, only join this if you've been wanting to grow on TikTok and you haven't crossed 500 followers yet. If you already have 500 followers, this is not going to be for you. Like, get specific on it. And then what red flags would make you say no to someone? If someone asks me the same question over and over, or they just keep coming up with excuse after excuse, I'll get to a point, me and Nate have both done this, where even if they buy eventually, we refund them. I'm sorry, this isn't for you. You don't seem committed. And we already know that this isn't going to work for you because you're second guessing it and making excuses for yourself, looking for a way out, and you haven't even started. Sorry, here's your $5,000 back. Go buy from someone else. Right? Like we've done that a lot, and that really confuses people. Where we say, hey, don't buy this if you're not like committed, or just doesn't make sense, or you don't feel like you can, put the time in that's needed. Like, please don't buy it. So, like for our consistent clients club, this is not for you if you want a magic button. Like, we don't have those red buttons that you hit and like cash like shoots out of your ceiling or whatever. Haven't found those yet. When we do, we'll make an offer about it and we'll sell them. Right. I'm pretty sure they'll sell like hotcakes. But right now, we don't have magic money buttons. And if you can't commit to one thing for at least 90 days, don't get anything that we have. Right. Whether it's this offer or anything else that you see, because all the stuff we talk about has been proven. It works. Multiple people from all walks of life, even third world countries. I always think of Chantel, people that make excuses. We got Chantel who's from Zimbabwe, and at one point for a very, very long time, she had to plan the time where she had electricity. And for the last 3 years, she's averaged over $100,000 in her business from a third world country. So I don't accept most people's excuses, right? Because of Chantel. So look at that in multiple ways. Setting a standard, which you're not going to tolerate when people are just filling you up with rubbish. Like, oh, I can't really afford it. But then you see them on a cruise ship, right? Or God forbid, someone that owes you money, and you see them talk, oh, I made $5,000 last week. I'm like, all right, dude, we'll hold up, our offer where we charge you 1,000. You said, you'd pay the other half after you made money. And you were just talking about you made $5,000. Look out for those people, right? Just think about all the things that you don't want to deal with and make it clear, right? This is not for you if. Okay? Very, very important.
Yeah, the real goal of this in this section specifically is you if you try to be for everybody, you'll end up resonating with nobody. Right? You want to like be clear on this. Especially if you guys end up running any type of like one-to-one coaching community type offers like this. You also have to remember you protect the energy. You have to protect the energy, your own and potential clients. So if you could repelling is just as important as attracting. And you're not doing this to like manufacture or engineer fake, scarcity or anything like that. It's like we essentially want to who would be the best fit for this and who wouldn't. And don't be afraid to like talk about who is not a good fit. It's also a breath of fresh air. It's like, you can do this in your marketing and your content as well too. Like, hey, this our pro like as an example, hey, if you don't want to start a group, like any of our programs probably won't be a good fit for you. It's just what it is. Everything we do revolves around community, relationships, depth, actual culture and environment with like people, a tribe of people versus, very impersonal style businesses. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with another side. That's just our own unique business, right? What would actually disqualify somebody? So you can look on tactical level, you can look on emotional level, you can look at mindset, behaviors, but you don't want to try to be for everybody because you'll end up resonating with no one. I know that's like a very cliche quote of me to give you guys, but it's just the reality of it. You will blend into a sea of everybody if you try to be like, I help anybody who wants to make money online make money online. Well, what does that actually mean? How? Who is it not for? Um, so one of our best offer documents we wrote did about 480K profit from one offer doc. It was very, very heavy on who it wasn't for, very heavy on pain that they were in, and that was about it. Wasn't even like it's funny to look at it too because it wasn't even very outcome or transformation focused. It was this is the pain that you're currently in and the situation you're probably in, and like this is how we want to fix it. And it's not for you if you want A, B, and C. Okay. So that's a big one. Rolling right into step 9, de-risking. How can you reduce the fear or friction of saying yes? Every purchase involves risk. How can you flip the risk onto yourself? Okay. Or how can you make the risk look smaller? How can we provide some type of guarantee? Hey, I'll help you land your first client. And if you don't in your first 90 days, I'll work with you one to one until you do. And again, don't promise guarantees you can not deliver on or you're not confident on. It's better to under promise and over deliver than it is to over promise and under deliver. Right. Um, so this isn't about manipulation or like marketing tactics, about making it feel safe for the right people to move forward. Ways to de-risk, guarantees, money back, results based, etc. Payment plans, lower barrier to entry. Like as an example, like what we're doing with this actual offer we're opening up today, is we're de-risking via price, right? So you have like incremental price increases for people who potentially grab at certain time windows. Proof, more evidence equals less risk. Now, again, don't just add proof that's not real. Honor system, pay after results. This is also one that we've used a lot. Hey, you can pay half now, and then after you accomplish X result, you pay the other half, right? Which also makes it look like you're taking on the risk, right? Like, hey, I sell this product every day for $1,000, and you can have instant access for $500, and after you make 10K or you do X result, then you can pay me the other half, right? Like full transparency with that, you will have to like be okay with potentially sometimes eating the income because sometimes there will be people who won't pay you, and that's what it is. Um, So that honor systems, that's also one that works. You can also another thing with payment plans is like this is one thing you can also do with your own products and your own offers. Now I wouldn't do this publicly, but like custom offers are a very powerful way to make sales if your audience or the potential person you're talking to can't afford the program. It's like, hey, I really want this thing, but I can't afford the $500 it is to join. Figure out what they can afford, and if they are a fit and they are a good client, and they potentially you want to work with them, see what they can afford and get them in on some type of custom payment plan. I'll never forget we had a product that was $1,000, and there was this woman who was like, she really wanted this product, she really wanted this thing, and she just couldn't afford it. And I was like, well, what can you afford? And she was like, oh, I can afford $75 a month. So I ended up selling her the access to the product on $75 a month, and she turned around and made thousands and thousands of dollars in sales. Um, you sometimes they won't all the most of them won't go like that, but it's a really awesome way if you have access to change pricing with affiliate products and other people's stuff. You can't necessarily do that, but if it is your own, then you can be pretty elastic and meet people where they are. It's a very powerful way to get clients and customers. Like, oh, I can't afford this. Well, what can you afford? Do you want to jump in, etc. Okay. Simplicity, easy to implement, less risk of failure. Again, if it's like I'm trying to give them 1,000 steps to get to X result, it's not like we're telling them they have to go through a corn maze with no map or whatever. Like that's not, they don't want that. And then access, ongoing support, one to one. Like we've talked about. Here's an example of some copy from the document. The full value of this is $2,000, but we don't charge that up front. You pay $500 to $1,000 to join. Once you hit 10K profit using this system, you honor the remaining balance. We only get paid once you've made money. It's a good example of de-risking an investment. Okay, giving you a discount, so to speak, but we're taking on the risk, right? Okay. Pillar number 10. Any questions so far on that? These are ones that you can kind of get creative with, de-risking it, making it as easy as possible to say yes. The other way that you can also look at this is like the FAQ that I broke down on that offer would be also be another way of like de-risking, answering the questions that they're potentially asking or that I'm seeing, and I can continuously update that. Um, just making it not feel as scary, which I get. Like I can't count the number of investments that I regret buying online, but I don't regret it at the same time. I've bought more programs than I could count. I mean, between Flip and myself, we've probably invested, more than a 4-year college degree on online courses and programs. Some of them changed everything about my life, which sounds cliche. Some of them I regretted immediately after. Some of them that I bought programs from got sued by the FTC for $10 million and, are no longer in business. But that's a story for a different day. So, um, but any way we can make it feel less scary, especially if you're making in the online business building realm too, because a lot of people sell people on stuff that just, in my opinion, doesn't deliver. Sell you on crazy outcomes that aren't real, right? They'll say and do whatever they possibly can to get you to purchase, and they'll leave you high and dry, right? And full transparency, if any of you guys want to run a business like that, then I don't know why you're here, because like it's not what we do. Um, the horror stories I could tell you, like, oh, I paid somebody $4,000 for a coaching call, and then I got on a call with them, and they just said, "Oh, just copy and paste my content." Like that's not, it's not mentorship. That's not. Um, there's always ways you can de-risk. There's always ways you can de-risk the investment, even if it feels like it or not. Yeah, there's always ways you can make it look like the risk is on you. We're just trying to flip the fear onto your responsibility, right? Good example of de-risking a 12-month thing. Hey, do this in 12 months, and if you don't, I'll do something else for you, right? Add some type of one-on-one support. Add some type of thing if they don't hit a milestone. Add some type of a financial incentive if possible. But there's always some type of way we can de-risk the potential investment. Um, yeah. Hey, I'll help you generate your first 1,000 followers in 90 days of joining, and if you don't, I'll create you a personalized content plan. Hey, I'll help you do accomplish X transformation within the first 30 days of joining, and if you don't, I will do something extra for you. Right? So it's more about like taking something. And another thing you can also do with this is you can actually take a bonus. This is something we've done a lot too. You take a bonus from the offer itself. It's like, here's this bonus, and then I just take one of those out, and then I put it down here. Like, hey, if you don't do this in the like, you can join our program, and if you don't make a sale with your offer document in the first 30 days, I will personally write your offer doc for you, as an example. So like taking a bonus that we potentially are giving in the product and shifting it down to like, you'll get this extra thing if you don't hit this goal or milestone. So just different ways that we can make it look better. So there's all sorts of ways you guys can do this. Depends on the space, depends on, but there's always ways we can make it look or feel like you're taking on some of the risk. Right?
Is that something you offer up front?
Is that like in every offer?
Right. Yeah. Is that something you offer up front? Yes.
Yeah, ideally, you would want to have it on some type of pretty much everything you do. Um, and it doesn't have to be all of these. Again, it's like these are different ways that you can de-risk. Access ongoing support. So hey, you get 2 weeks a call or 2 calls a week, as an example. That's one way to negate risk. Because I'm gonna have questions, I'm gonna have fears, I'm gonna have concerns, I'm gonna have things that I don't understand. So are you gonna leave me high and dry after I purchase, or am I gonna be there to answer all your questions? Right. So there's all sorts of ways that you can de-risk the investment without even necessarily adding anything new. Right. It's like, hey, you're probably going to jump into this thing and you're going to purchase this product. You're going to have all these things going on in your head, and then I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way. Right. It's all like, it doesn't have to be all of these. It can be one, it can be two, it could be three, it could be all of them, but it could also just be one. Right. Hey, I will help you get to X result. And if you don't, I will do the work for you. Hey, there's a payment plan, 30-day payment plan. You don't like it, I'll fucking refund your money. Right. As an example, de-risk.
Yep.
Proof stacking. You can talk about more evidence. This isn't necessarily as much of a de-risk, but it is powerful. Right? You'll be buying into the same system that X person did, and they got this result. Okay. Hey, you can pay 25% today, and then after you hit this X milestone, you pay the rest. Right? Hey, instead of doing 55 steps to X result, you do 1, 2, 3. Okay. And like I was saying, access support. There's always ways you can make it feel simpler, I guess is the thing. De-risk is just like a fancy way of saying that, I guess.
Yeah. Nate said it earlier too. Like when it comes to bonuses and de-risking, it's like your only limit is your imagination and creativity. Like really, because your bonuses could also act as a de-risk. Like Nate just said with how he was stacking, certain payment plans. Like we could have changed this one to say like, hey, until Friday you can pay $250 now. You won't have to pay anything else until you make your first 3 high ticket sales, right? Like we've done that before. We've done all kinds of things. So it's really up to you on how you want to do it and what you're comfortable with.
Part 10. Promise we're
one.
getting there. We're almost done.
We're almost there. We're not going to have to cover the template. Like that's just for you guys as a gift, right? And then we're almost at the finish line. But pillar 10, this is like making their next step super simple and making it easy for them to take that step, right? And making it make sense. So how do they take action? What exactly do they need to do next, right? So on an offer, you don't want to tell them all the good things they want to hear and then not tell them what their next step on how they can get that, right? So anytime you've got confusion at the end of anything, it's going to kill decisions, right? If someone's not clear on something, they're not going to make a decision. A confused person does not buy. Just remember that. Write that down. They've read everything, they're ready, and then they don't know what to do. Lost sale. Okay. They're not going to do anything if they don't know what to do. That goes for all of us. The call to action needs to be clear, direct, obvious, simple, and confident, right? So just some questions to answer. What's the one action they need to take? Is it clear? Right? No ambiguity. Is it easy? No friction, no resistance. Does it feel confident? Right? Not desperate or pushy. Right? Like hurry up and buy. We don't want to do that. Right? You want to put the ball in their court, and if you can, make it seem like it's a decision they've been wanting to make, but they just haven't had a good reason to do so. As an example, hey, if you're a person who's bought 17 courses, you haven't finished any of them, you don't have any sales under your belt, and you can't figure out why because you just don't know how to take action, when to take action, how to stay motivated. Well, this is going to be for you, and you get to save $750 today because until Friday, you can grab this for $249. One time, lifetime, yours forever. And if all of this has still been confusing, you'll get all the tools that'll do it for you. And if that doesn't work, then we'll step in and do it for you. And we'll work with you until you make your first $3,000. All right. If you want to do that and all that sounds good, and click the link below. You'll see a button. It'll take you to a page. You can put in your information and make the purchase, and then we'll get you over inside and get you started today if you want. Boom. There's very clear, deliberate what to do, what you get, pain points, tied it all together, call to action, right? So that's what we mean when it's like, what do they need to do? Is it clear? Does it remove friction? Does it de-risk it? Right? Is it what they want? And then you tell them how to get it. So just like the example on the offer doc, if you're ready, click the link below to join. If you have questions, shoot a message. Either way, no pressure. This is either a fit or it's not. All good either way, right?
If you want to save sales, I guess another thing too, there's two ways you could wrap it up. You could either go very message heavy. So there's two ways that we've really wrapped up docs, like direct checkout, you buy, right? You just go buy, or you send me a message back. Like if everything is in this offer doc sounds like you're good to go, ping me a message with X word and we can chat about it. Right, so there's two ways you can really like do it. This example has both kind of baked in. If we want more opportunity to potentially make sales, this can be better. If you have lower volume, I would usually say do message, right, versus direct checkout, just because that way you can kind of handle some objections or see what they have to say about the offer itself, versus just like expecting them to just go land on the link and buy, which I think is a very big thing that we think. It's like, oh, well, if I send my offer to 10 people, all 10 of them are going to buy. It's not the reality of it. Unless we have a bit more, we talk to them a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So two ways you can do that. I'm not going to run through this template verbatim. Because this is for you guys. You guys will have to make a copy of this document and fill this out.
Self-paced.
All going to help you with your offer. Okay, what is one thing you can talk about for 90 minutes? What is the clear outcome for the person that buys this? What becomes better in their life is after they achieve that. You guys will see a lot of commonalities in the exact pillars we broke down. So emotional hook, credibility, mechanism, structure, the close. Okay. So fill this out. Take some time to fill this out. The better job you do with this, the easier putting your doc on paper is going to be.
This is your easiest way to get your rough draft right here. When you fill this out, each thing that you put becomes your offer. And that's your rough draft that you begin to build on, which, if you had an hour today, you could have a rough draft offer, or you could re-edit or refine your current offer, right? So like Nate was saying, make a copy, right? Use this when you have an offer idea, or if you have an offer already, or if you don't know how to, or you want to create one for your affiliate product, your own, et cetera, et cetera. This is your go-to blueprint to use every single time. You'll do it much quicker. Okay. What's
so
next?
We use this for all of the offers we do. A lot, definitely more aggressively back, like when we first started creating offers. Now we have done them so many times we can kind of just start punching them up with our brains and AI is crazy. You can do all sorts of really crazy stuff, but don't the thing I will say about AI or just in general is like, I think AI is becoming a very easy tool to like not try, I guess you could say. Like, oh, AI told me it was good, so I don't have to do anything else. It's like, well, I would still have everybody fill out this template.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Even if you have like, instead of dropping a picture of this into AI and, hey, fill it out for me. So like what I see a lot of people doing. It's like, well, it probably doesn't have enough context on you in general.
No. Yeah. If you've used our AI trainer, you could fill it out and then upload it to your AI trainer, and it'll work 10 times better. But don't just throw it in there like, hey, fill this out for me. Not going to work. People are going to be able to tell. We can still tell when people use AI. And most people can't tell when we use it because of how we do it. Right? So, yeah, exactly, Shay. So what's next, guys? You got your offer mapped out. You got the idea in your head. You understand the 10 pillars, and you've got the training. You've got the doc. You got the template. You got all the things. You'll get to a point where you can fill out the clarity table. Now you're ready to write your offer. But here's the thing: an offer doc is just one piece of the puzzle, like Nate was saying earlier. You can have the most beautiful, ready to convert offer doc in the world, but if you're still chasing like cold people to send it to, they're not going to buy it, right? So you'll maybe still be taking calls, still be answering a bunch of questions if the people are cold, still trying to convince people one by one. And this is you on your way to being burned out yet again. So the offer doc is going to work best when people come to you already warmed up, knowing who you are, what you do, how you do it, what you're about, what you stand for and don't, and ready to buy. And that's what the community and workshop do, right? So your community should be reverse engineered to solve problems that make people ready for your offer, meaning helping them with quick wins, helping them with perspective shifts, fixing some of their, most common right now problems so that they are ready for what it is that you offer. Exactly what we have done today. Like, y'all can now go and have your offer. And some of y'all can go out and start making sales immediately. But there's still going to be a chunk of people that don't know what the next steps are. And they're going to need help and support. And even with the offer of which we covered today. So this is where your workshop is also very, very important. It's going to handle all of the objections, all the things that you've questioned for a long time, all of the reasons of why you haven't made sales, all of the reasons of why all the stuff you've purchased, all the things you've tried that you haven't been able to put it all together to where it works as one, right? So it handles the objections and it's shifting the beliefs and getting them ready to buy long before you ever talk to them. This is probably like one of my favorite parts, right? And by the time that they do hit you up, right, or you do have a conversation with them, they're just like, hey, I'm already sold. I don't even need to read the doc. Like, just send me the payment link. And we've had that happen a lot. We've also had people say, hey, I didn't even read the doc. I was just looking for the place to pay. I already know that I want to work with you guys. I want what you got. And see, that's what we're going to help you install inside of the offer that you guys can buy at 75% off until Friday. After Friday, it's going up, right? So this gets you in lifetime access, stuff that comes with it, and you'll be with us 4 days, which is going to be us installing this with you live with implementation, the support that you need, and you won't have any reason why you can't get this done unless like you lose your fingers, toes, mouth, eyeballs, legs, and all those things. All right. So day one, your offer. We're going to build the actual doc together using the template, right, that we've used to close. Pretty sure it's probably getting close to, 5,500 or 6,000 sales at this point. Because when our Stripe account got shut down, it was about that many. Day two, this is your community. If you already got a group, don't know how to start a group, this is what we're going to make easy for you. This is your community and your workshop. Very, very important. It's like having the frame of a car with no engine and wanting to go somewhere, but you can't. So we're going to build the engine that makes people ready to receive your offer, ready to buy it. Day three, we work on your launch and the content that's going to help you launch it. So this is how to fill your community and start making sales from the right people. All right. And then day four, this is your evergreen system, meaning evergreen means works continuously at any time, any season, forever, right? We show you a thing that we learned also from Jacob of how to make your stuff evergreen, meaning it is always relevant no matter what. All right. So day four, you get your evergreen system and then you flip it to 90 minutes a day. Some of you will be able to do it less than that. Some of you that are slower like myself, it might take you a little bit longer, but that's okay too. And by day four, you have like legit the complete system, not just an offer doc, right? Not just content, not just all the pieces that aren't lining up, but you have like the whole system that works together that brings a little bit of freedom, a little bit of peace, a little bit of leverage, and the thing that you want more of, which is sales and revenue and all that good stuff. All right. Now, the investment, we've said it, 2,000 after launch, when it's all said and done, recorded, done, it's going to be $2,000, and that'll be a steal. Right. We've had people do 10 grand in as little as 17 days. $2,000 a steal, but we're not going to charge anywhere near that. Me and Nate have talked about it, went back and forth, and we wanted to, just kind of reward people and make it easy for them to where like your ROI is pretty much guaranteed if your effort is there, right? So we're not charging anywhere near that for anyone who joins during this launch, and you've got multiple opportunities to save, right? Live and fast action bonuses only, like now to Friday at 8, $249, one time, lifetime access. All right, so that's Friday, 27th, 2 days from now at 8 p.m. That's the early bird. After that, 8 p.m., it goes to 500 one time. All right, so then you miss out on the 75%. All right, March 11th through 18th. This is when it's going to change again. All right, you'll have the option 1,000, 3 times 400. So it is a little bit of interest in there. All right, because we take on more risks. We have had people jump ship, make a payment, steal all the info, never to pay again, and run our names into the ground. But it's going to change again. By the last little tier there, the last run, it's only going to be full pay only, meaning no more discounts. For this launch, it's $1,000 one time. Right, there are financing options available, pretty good ones too, but only if you're committed. And just like we've told you guys to do today, this is not for you if you want a magic money button. We don't have it. You can't commit to one system for 90 days. This is not going to work. If you want to scale at any cost, meaning you're willing to tell people anything and everything, and you don't have integrity, no morals, and you're willing to be a slime ball, do not buy this. If you rely solely on hype instead of real value, honesty, integrity, don't buy it. And we just want to protect all the people as well as the energy of what's inside of all the stuff that we've took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building. But if you are ready and you're kind of just sick of how things have been going, then you can take us up on this. People come to you, they understand, they're sold, they're excited, and they don't have a problem paying you, like they actually are happy to pay you, then come hang with us. Buy into it. Come do some work. Let's show you how to skip the mistakes that we made, because we failed a lot, all right, until we figured this out. And we've done nothing but refine, add, eliminate, and figure out where people were failing and falling and getting stuck. And we remove it, refine it, and that's what we've just done for the last few years. Now we help people skip that 3-year struggle bus, and we give them a 454 big block, board out, ready to go. So you can click that link on that doc if you need the doc again. Cool. We can answer questions live. If you want to message us individually, that's fine too. But come Friday, price is going up. The big discount's gone. Just decided on that yesterday, just to give folks a head start and to make it an absolute no-brainer, because we love no-brainers, right?
And I know some of you guys are going to be asking this, so I'll answer it right now. After March 23rd, this is the only offer we're selling. This is going to be the only product we promote. This is going to be the only offer that we're realistically going to be optimizing to sell. Like some of you guys that have been in our world for a little while, we're condensing and we're removing parts, and this is going to be our main offer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're going to be building it from the ground up, new IP, new processes, new strategies, new workshops. And the founding members are realistically also going to help us build this kick-ass program as well, because we're going to use all your feedback and things that you are personally struggling with to make it even better.
Yeah.
So this is one product, comes with 2 calls per week. Again, we'll probably end up adding some type of chat support, but this is the only offer we're going to be promoting, because we're condensing, like we said at the beginning of the year, more about reduction and systemizing our business, and this is going to be it.
Yep.
So that's the game plan. March 23rd is the live launch. Again, you guys don't really necessarily have to wait to get started. There's a lot of stuff that you will get access to if you buy in today, to be pitchy, I guess you could say. You're going to get access to more than is just like laid out on this document. So
what I could add is, it's like anyone who jumps on the early bird, which I mean just makes all the sense. If any of this has sounded good to you, you get $750 off, and like Nate said, you get access to all the things that you need, to where if you just took minimum action between now and the time we launch the 4-day training, you're going to be so far ahead and be able to set yourself up for a pretty sweet May. So I'm talking like summertime vibes, you know what I'm saying, like setting yourself up for a pretty bomb summer, which kind of excites me personally. But you kind of get a head start, okay? And that's what we want to do. We want folks to skip mistakes, especially the ones that we made, and only focus on the things that is going to move the right needles, right? So just keep that in mind.
So that's the game plan. Hopefully, you guys got some value from the offer training. That's the offer. If this is your first time seeing us, we don't do fake scarcity. So these aren't made up. These prices will change. And we will sell this offer hundreds of times at $1,000 over the next few years. So that's all we got for you guys today. If you guys have Q&A, you guys got questions, you want to jam out on anything specific, happy to open the floor.
Yep.
And yeah, you guys have this doc. I'll redrop this doc for you guys. So any of you guys that came in late, you guys can have the doc. The offer is pinned on this document as well. You guys are more than welcome to go read that. And yeah.
Questions?
Questions, concerns, tell us we suck a bag of phallic flavored candy.
Or you can tell us we probably should have charged for everything that we just gave away. Yeah. So a lot of people do charge for that.
Yeah. The thing I will say is don't sleep on it, because it is free information either. I know that's the biggest problem with free info, is we don't value it. You don't actually implement free stuff. You don't actually this is a mistake we made last year. We launched a community launch challenge, which was funny because we literally gave everything away that we charged 790 clients $1,000 for, that 99% of people just didn't do anything with.
Yeah.
So
make that make
flavored,
sense.
no, definitely flavored.
Yeah. Eddie, that goatee looking strong, man. Good, great, okay. I see you, big dog. Your wisdom is showing. Anything?
We're just working quietly behind the scenes.
I hear you. That's how I feel.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Did anybody write questions?
Anybody write questions down?
Need to come back to anything like that?
Back to anything like that?
No? All good?
No? All good?
Man, so y'all are just ready to rock.
Y'all just ready to rock.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. We did it, Nate. Nobody's got questions. This is good. Might take a nap then.
Nap time. Awesome sauce. Well, I'll get you guys the replay. Probably post this replay everywhere. Aggressively push it. Any of you guys promoting any of our offers, you're more than welcome to use this training. Obviously, it is a long one, but yeah. So get the replay up in the group, and yeah.
Cool. Right on. Well, I'm glad we got to hang out. Hopefully, y'all got some good stuff from this, and y'all will go implement it. Right? Really. That's all we want. See you guys win. Sweet.